Hello, friends. Matt Murphy Show in progress. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Glad you've decided to join us this afternoon, wherever you might be. Perhaps you're in your home, perhaps in your place of business, finishing up work, or just beginning operations, or maybe you're in your automobiles or someplace in between. We thank you for being a part of the Matt Murphy radio family, and I thank you for listening to the Matt Murphy Show. Super Talk 99.7 WTN in progress. 615-737-9986. Hey, y'all need to get on the phone lines or I'm going to take Mike's call. That's a threat. 615-737-9986 if you'd like to talk about anything that we've discussed over the portion of the last 2 hours of the show or anything on your mind, obviously discussing the government shutdown, day 28, the possibility of SNAP benefits ending. A lot of folks have their proverbial political panties in the proverbial political panty wad over this fact, and there's a lot of blaming that's going on. 9313 has written in response to our conversation with Andy Ogles. There's been a lot of response to our conversation with Andy Ogles. And y'all know that Andy and I have had an on-again, off-again friendship during his time in service as Murray County mayor and then eventually as a congressman. When I first got here in 2021, I was a little bit confused because I received some information that Andy had moved some money around that was technically illegal from a campaign finance standpoint. I was proven right in all of that. And we've long repaired that. Andy votes the right way in most cases. Andy is also, he has a tendency to lean to the performative, and he knows that. And so during our conversation, friends can agree on a lot of things and then talk about things that they might have a different approach or a disagreement on. And frankly, this conversation about Donald Trump getting a third term is ridiculous. I consider it to be nonsense. I do not believe that it helps the cause that we are engaged in, and that is to get us back to sensible-sized government, to shrink the size and scope of the federal government, to reduce the national debt, to secure our borders, to stop foreign conflicts, to get ourselves out of said same, to get better trade deals on the table, to improve our economy, to improve the American way of life, to get back to the American way of life, to stop all the cultural warfare, all the cultural nonsense. I mean, these are the things that we try to advance on a day-to-day basis. And I do not believe that having any sort of discussion about a third Donald Trump term aids in that endeavor. Donald Trump's not going to be a third termer. That is impermissible per the Constitution of the United States of America and the 22nd Amendment. And you would have to amend it in order to do anything about that. Well, 9313 has chimed in and says, okay, let me get this straight. Let's joke about a third term because Republicans want to drag Trump or drag Trump nuts. I'm assuming he means people with Trump derangement syndrome. I could read that one of two ways. And because there might be children listening in the automobiles of parents around the community, I'm going to choose to read it that he's talking about people that are nuts regarding Donald Trump's presidency. Look, rules are rules. This is BS. Why are we electing people like this? All politicians are full of crap. Nobody does their job. THERE, their job. Whatever. America is a joke, writes 9313. Point fingers is all both parties do. How about using your platform, Matt, to call out politicians on both sides? Thanks for listening, 9313. I do. I appreciate your call. I do not believe that all things are equal when it comes to representation. I do believe that while I am not a Republican nor a conservative, I typically vote Republican because I believe that it's pretty cut and dry who best reflects and represents the values of our founding fathers, who best reflects and represents the values of the idea of freedom of association, freedom of spirit, freedom of identity, freedom from government interference when it comes to your liberties, and a freedom to take responsibility for yourself and your life and make the best life possible for you and your family within your community. I believe the Republicans represent that far more than the Democrats. I believe they represent cultural norms that our society has laid out in front of us far more so than the lefty loonies in Washington, D.C. I do not believe, as George Wallace once infamously said, he said, oh, there's not a dime's worth of difference between Republicans and Democrats. I disagree with that. I think there's a lot of change worth of difference. That doesn't mean the Republicans are always right. That doesn't mean that I always agree with them. And we will obviously call those folks out when some of their positions merit it. I do not believe that Andy's deal with the third term stuff merits, getting into a screaming fight about it. I asked him about it. Andy said, he admitted that it was performative. It is. It's performative. He admitted that it's designed to drive liberals nuts, and it is. But I do not believe that it helps us because there are a lot of people that aren't paying quite as much attention as you. There are many people across this great country that aren't paying the attention that those that listen to talk radio do, that do not do their own homework to understand what exactly is going on, and they hear Donald Trump talking about a third term, or they hear Andy Ogles talking about a third term, or they hear Steve Bannon talking about a third term, and then they start buying into this liberal tripe about a king or an authoritarian. No. That's not what we're going to do. So, sure, if Andy's goal is to gig Democrats, I suppose he has succeeded. But I do believe on the other side of that, there are people that aren't quite paying attention that might buy into this narrative that Trump is a quote-unquote authoritarian when we're talking about third-term shenanigans. And Steve Bannon needs to shut up. Okay? Bannon is as wrong as he is right. Frankly, wrong more than he is right on a lot of issues. And I know that he has his followers. And once again, I'm not trying to make the perfect the enemy of the good with regard to Steve Bannon, but when he comes out and said, "Oh, we've got a plan for a third term, and we're going to say it, we're going to do that when the time is right, but we've got a plan." Shut up! Just shut your mouth. There's a reason you're no longer in the White House. There's a reason you're no longer advising the President of the United States, no matter how much you want to convince people that you are. Just be quiet. You're not helping. Now, 1221, you're speaking my language. 1221 says we need a third party. I don't disagree with a third party. In fact, I would look forward to it. For the beginnings of our political history, we had multiple parties. We had the Federalists. We had the Republicans. We had the Whigs. We had the Republican or the Democrat Republicans at one point. Or the Republican, I guess it was Democrat Republicans. I would not be against the rise of a third party. There was a time in my youth, back in the day, when I thought perhaps the Libertarians could be that third party. Sadly, the Libertarians care far too much about winning debates. They care far too much about their intellectual purity. And by the way, I'm speaking as one. They care far too much about their intellectual purity. They care far too much about winning debates, and they care far too much about arguing about hookers and blow instead of issues that are going to impact real Americans in real time right now. They don't understand the concepts of incrementalism. They don't understand the concept of turning a huge ship of state around slowly and not immediately or automatically. And for that reason, all libertarians seem to want to do is fight amongst themselves. And I say that in love. I love the libertarian philosophy of government. That philosophy is a basic one, that government serves best, that serves least and only when absolutely necessary, and that civil liberties and my freedoms to live a life of my own choosing should remain sacrosanct so long as I'm not violating the rights of other people. That's what it's all about. 17 after the hour. Ask and ye shall receive. I said, hey, you see what happens when I threaten them? You know, I threatened them. Did you hear me threaten them earlier?
You threatened to take Mike's call.
Yeah, I did. And look who's we got Larry on the line. Oh, look, I didn't mean to hang up on Mike. Mike, I hung up on you.
He's going to call me and get mad now.
Well, tell Mike I didn't mean to.
You did that on purpose.
I accidentally punched the button and then punched Larry, and Mike went away. Mike, that was Jackson that hung up on you, not me.
No, Mike.
Jackson's the bad guy here, not me.
Hey, no, I'm Mike's favorite. Remember, he asked how old I was yesterday.
Oh, that's true. He did. He wanted to know. I asked him a question, then he wanted to know how, like it was something about giving you a hug. I said, you want to give Jackson a hug?
Line one's ringing.
How old is he? Hey, Larry, what's up?
Oh my God! How am I supposed to follow that?
Well, here's my hot tip of the day, Larry. When I ask you if you want to give another grown man a hug, it is never an appropriate thing to say, how old is he? Never.
No,
Never.
but I have.
I don't care who you.
I have given Chris and Virginia, Johnny B, and the beautiful Glenna a hug.
Didn't we hug when you came to the event in Hendersonville in a limo?
No, you ignored me.
I did not ignore you.
Yes, you did. But anyway, that's beside the point.
That's not true.
Steve Bannon needs to STFO and go away and evolve. But then, on the more important point, Matt,
you losing it, Larry? You losing it over there?
Well, I've been losing it for a long time, dude.
Me
I
too.
mean, I've cheated the Reaper for 14 times in the last 2.5 years.
You know what you need? You need some delicious Welch's grapefruit juice or grape juice. That's what I'm drinking.
Well, I've had that, but, you know, and if you mix it with enough vodka, it's okay.
I don't disagree with that.
I love Brother Ken Weaver, okay?
We all do. I love you too, Brother Larry.
I love you, Brother Ken, but
there's a but coming.
I hope we stomp.
Big old mud hole. And by the way, I looked it up, Larry. I looked this up, and thank you, Larry, for the call. Thank you for bringing this up. Now, I have stated publicly that I'm rooting for Brother Ken this weekend.
Go for it. You can be losers with him.
That's fine. My most important priority is the cocktail party down south in Jacksonville. But I'm rooting for Brother Ken Weaver.
Too.
But then the Florida Gators would win, Jackson.
I don't care.
Do you want them to lose too?
I want everybody to lose other than the Vols.
So I looked it up, y'all, and the Sooners, it's basically that they're cheaters.
Larry's back.
I hung up on Larry.
Why are you hanging up on people?
Well, I got to go to
hung
break.
up on Mike, and he called back, too.
Well, I got to go to – well, I'll let Larry finish up the thought. Larry, I'm sorry. I thought we were done, and I had to go to a break, but I'll let you finish up. I've lost control.
I know you hate me because you're let me watch my language. You're a Bulldog fan. But yes, I hope we stomp the Sooners' rear ends. But listen, to my original point, thank you for having Andy on, and I'm glad you guys worked out your differences. And I have not always agreed with Andy, but I think his mind is right for the most part. But listen, I do appreciate what you do every day. I appreciate Brother Ken, even though he's a darn Sooners fan. And I love Fraction Jackson.
Thank you, Larry.
And that's all I got to say. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Larry.
Go Vols.
Boomer! Cheater! Wait, that's not it. I'll work on it, Ken. I'm sorry. I thought I had it. Also, I'm very disappointed. You know what? I've broken my elephant. I broke his little snout off.
You can't do that.
I know. I'm going to steal Jackson's.
How's the little fella going to eat now?
That's a good question, Ken. I don't know. I need some super glue, and I need some time. And I think I have the time right now. It's 23 after the hour on Super Talk. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, it's Matt Murphy. I'm live from a different location right now. If you're watching on Super Talk television, you'll notice there's no here I am. So I'm in the control area with young Jackson. He's got his nice little North Face on. And look, right behind Jackson, look at there. Ken Weaver is right there. So the reason that I'm in here is let me see the elephant that I just gave you.
No, you gave me
this
the
guy right there
one.
and this one, and I'm trading. No, get
Ken.
off. Jackson and I are going to work these elephant talks out, and we'll be back right after the newscast. Is it time for news, Jackson?
Yeah, it's time.
Hey, I'm on time. Hey, Ken, it's 5:30 on the dot on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, guys, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Glad to have you with us. It is the Matt Murphy radio show, 37 after the hour. Stupid fallback happens this weekend. Y'all know that?
Yes.
Hate it. Absolutely hate it.
It's like when you have a perfectly good stuffed elephant and somebody just rips it out of your hands.
It's a little bitty piece of the... I just gave you... You did not have the stuffed elephant 4 hours ago. You did not have the squeezy elephant 4 hours ago. Now you have... And I frankly know where there are many other squeezy elephants that... Ken's got one, but we wouldn't even have to take Ken's. There's some downstairs waiting on Chad Benson, Chris Hand, and Dan Mandis. We could steal all of their elephants. I mean, this crap's from PETA. You think Dan Mandis is going to keep squeezy elephants? I don't think so. You know where those squeezy elephants are going to end up? In the trash trash. So, Jackson, I can get you some squeezy elephants. And you can have a little parade. You can have an elephant parade. You can do a little elephant walk. If you know what I mean. Should we get to Mike first before we get into Nincompoops?
Yeah.
You say Mike's pissed? What else is new? Hello, Mike.
How you doing?
Mike, I'm great. I hope you are.
Well, you know what? You did a zinger on me the last time. That's fine. You can hate me and just sort of make fun of me and all that.
I don't hate you,
that's
Mike.
Fine.
I don't hate you
and
at
you
all.
know what? Well, but you did, and that's fine. Now I'm going to ask you a very serious question because you're pushing yourself as a non-conservative, non-independent, non-Democrat. I don't even know what you are anymore.
Hold on, let me get it's a serious question, so I got to get my serious face on. You ready?
All right. I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Go ahead. You say you're good.
I got my serious face on, so you're asking me a serious question. I got my serious face on. Go.
You just talked to Andy Ogles, and Andy Ogles is a so-called conservative, and you agreed with him, and you're going to go on board, and you thanked him, and you got on your knees, and you're all in favor of Donald Trump and this and that. But then you come back and say, you know what? I'm not conservative. I'm not Republican. I'm not independent. And so I don't know what you are, Matt, but I'm going to ask you a question that goes back a few.
Mike, let me dissect some of the things that you got wrong in that statement of yours, and then we'll move on with this question.
This is where we're getting to, because you start belittling people that catch
I'm trying to belittle you
in statements.
What, you didn't catch me? When did I say I was not an independent?
Are you conservative?
No.
Are you independent?
No.
Are you Republican?
No.
Are you Democrat?
No.
Then what are you?
I'm Matt Murphy.
Okay, now I'm going to just forget all this stuff now. Forget everything now because you just admitted it. I want to ask you a question that goes back about the tunnel.
What did I admit that I'm me? I admitted that I'm me. I'm an independent thinker, which is different than being an independent.
I want you to go back with me in time to a thing called the Nashville Tunnel.
Can I do? Hold on. Can I do that? All right, I'm going back in time, but we got to do that. We got to do the going back in time noise, though, Mike.
What?
No, we got to do it. You ready? Okay, we're going to go back in time. You ready?
Ready.
All right, we're back in time. Go. Am I annoying you, Mike?
When you started this whole thing about the boring tunnel is when I started not liking you and distrusting you. And then thinking you were a liar. You got in bed with the governor of Tennessee, and we were going to bore a tunnel from downtown Nashville to the airport, and then it's going to go everywhere, and then it's going to not cost taxpayers of Tennessee a dime. And all I'm asking you now, after all these months and months and months, where is it, Matt? Where is the progress? Can you just tell me that? That will get me back in good graces with you if you can say, man, we are so deep in going halfway to Nashville Airport on the boring tunnel project. If you can't do that, because you put your heart and soul into that. You sold us that. And now you can't
I think it's fair. Mike, I think you're making a fair point. Because you bring up the point that were it not for Matt Murphy, we would not have a boring tunnel. Were it not for me and my support of this project, none of this would be going on. And I think you bring up an excellent point that because I am solely responsible for all of this going down in Nashville, Tennessee, in Music City, USA, I owe my listeners a responsibility to update them on the project. I think you're exactly right, Mike.
Exactly. And so when you call Channel 2, Channel 4, Channel 5, and you ask them, and I have, they don't even know what I'm talking about. And so
That's right.
What I'm asking you, Matt, is if you're really honest and true, and you're going to be a big-time talk show host, and you reach out to millions. You reach out to millions of people. And I think really deep down, you really do care about this country, and you really are a conservative. I do believe that. But you need to stop the boring tunnel stuff and then bring on the Amy Ogle stuff and get on the knees with these people. They are liars.
I'm getting a little Mike. No offense. Hold on, Mike. No offense. I'm getting a little concerned with your calls because yesterday you were asking if you could hug young men, and now you're talking about getting on your knees.
Well, I'm talking about, see, there you go. What I'm talking about is the younger generation that keeps believing these liberal ideas.
We're trying to run a clean show, Mike, a clean show.
Well, what I'm trying to say is young people that believe in these liberal ideas, these communist, socialist ideas, they're going to get screwed. And we're seeing it today.
Here we go. Now we're talking about screwing people. Mike. Mike. I'll update you on the tunnel post haste, Mike. Thank you for the telephone call. I hope you have a good evening. What? We're having a good conversation. Mike got one thing right. If it were not for Matt Murphy, we wouldn't have this boring tunnel. I'll tell you that.
Can we reach out to millions?
Yeah, of course we do. Come on, Jackson. Don't shortchange us. And you know what millions are demanding for right now?
Yeah.
I do. I know exactly what they're demanding. I don't know what this means, but I just looked over on the YouTube chat, and somebody said tunnel is cabbage. I don't know what that means, but I like it. Babbage now, they're saying.
Money?
I bet they're saying garbage.
Oh,
I bet they're trying to say garbage.
Garbage.
And it keeps auto-correcting. Hey, friends, it's time for Nincompoops in the News. It's our daily opportunity to look for I don't know, folks like Mike in the world, and relate those stories to you from Ken Weaver, from Jackson Williams, and from yours truly, Matt Murphy. And I can tell you, and I meant to tell you this yesterday, Jackson, that there was no question who won the contest yesterday. No question who won the contest yesterday. It was me. I won the contest. I finally won one clean over Ken Weaver.
That's the way to go, Brother Murphy.
Ken, you are coming in second or first every single day. And Ken Weaver is by far and away the most popular Nincompoop in the News presenter on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Not Nincompoop, Nincompoop in the News presenter.
I did hear you say presenter.
But I scored it yesterday, and I don't have that good of one today, but for me, it is it's a baffling case. I take us to Boston, Massachusetts.
Boston, yeah.
Yeah, in the car with the bar. An Indian national, and that would be India. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I get in trouble. I'm not going to do it. It's a Indian national, as in India, a national from the nation of India, not a Native American.
Yes, sir.
An Indian national is facing federal charges for allegedly stabbing two teenagers, both of whom survived. No death. While on flight from Chicago to Germany, forcing the plane to divert to Boston, Massachusetts. Praneeth Kumar Usiripati, 28, is charged. Usiripati. No, wait, I'm sorry. That's Usiripali. Nobody would know one way or the other. One way or the other. Great Googly Moogly, which is the name that I use for people whose name I cannot pronounce, is charged with one count of assault with a dangerous weapon with intent to do bodily harm while traveling on an aircraft in the special aircraft jurisdiction of the United States of America, according to a United States Attorney, District of Massachusetts, Leah Foley. On October 25th, Usiripali was on board Lufthansa Flight 431 en route from Chicago to Frankfurt, Germany. According to charging documents, for no reason known to the individuals on the flight, Usiripali began stabbing a 17-year-old male passenger in the shoulder and another 17-year-old male passenger in the back of the head with a fork.
Goodness.
With a fork, following meal service. The victim was sleeping lightly in a middle seat when he allegedly woke up to see Usiripali standing over him. Usiripali struck the teenager in the left clavicle with a fork before lunging toward the second teen victim who was seated to his right. Both victims sustained lacerations. When flight crew members restrained Usiripali, he allegedly formed a gun with...
Goodness.
He formed a gun with his fingers, then put it into his mouth and pulled the imaginary trigger.
Well, he showed them.
After that, officials say Usiripali turned and slapped a female passenger before attempting to slap a flight crew member.
Goodness.
Because of the disturbance, the airplane diverted to Logan Airport, where it was immediately, it landed, and he was immediately taken into custody. According to federal officials, Usiripali was previously admitted to the United States on a student visa. He has overstayed his visa. He is not currently lawfully in the United States of America. And so one would expect that he will be deported after he is charged with assault with a dangerous weapon, a fork, intent to do bodily harm. No word on whether he will be charged with attempted finger-pointing suicide or whatnot for his little finger point that he gave into the old mouthful area. But that, Usiripali, is my nincompoop in the news.
All right. That's an okay one.
Were you even listening, Jackson?
I was getting Ken's camera fixed. You look good, Ken.
Thank you, Brother Jackson.
Not going to look so good Saturday, but we'll get to that later.
Go ahead, Jackson.
Escaped monkeys killed after truck accident in Heidelberg, Mississippi.
Did you say monkeys?
Yes.
I give up. I'm out.
All but one of the rhesus monkey that escaped from an overturned truck in Jasper County have been euthanized. We have been in contact with an animal disposal company to help handle the situation. The Jasper County Sheriff's Office said the truck was transporting the monkeys from Tulane University when it overturned Tuesday, October 28th, on Interstate 59 near mile marker 117. The monkeys, weighing approximately 40 pounds each, are aggressive towards humans and require PPE to handle. 6 of them escaped. 15 remained caged after the crash. These monkeys had things such as hepatitis, COVID, and herpes.
Good. So they're test monkeys.
Oh, no. Poor little herpy monkey.
Feel sorry for those little
I mean, I do
fellas.
too.
Now a herpy monkey's at the door.
Poor little fella.
Goodness.
Monkey herpes would make a good name for a band, like a metal band.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that it? Who's the nincompoop there, Jackson?
Brian Kelly.
Ken, go. Just do yours.
An
You
alleged
win.
drunk driver was arrested after calling police to report his own dumb behavior. He could be heard telling the 911 operator, "I'm on Highway 77 going north," and then somebody's on the wrong side of the road. He had his brights on, man. He almost ran me off the road, the driver added. The man repeated his claim, insisting that the truck was traveling south in the northbound side of the highway. That was gnarly. That was like a lot, the driver said. After conducting a traffic stop, the deputy asked if the driver knows why he's being pulled over. "Yeah, because I was on the wrong side of the road," the driver said. "I must have missed an exit." Later, the deputy asked the driver if he's the same motorist who called to report a truck going southbound in the northbound lane. "Yeah, because I thought somebody was on the wrong side of the effing road, bro." Deputy said, "Turns out it was you." Driver said, "Yeah, like a dumb A," the driver responded. The sheriff's, actually, no, that he didn't say dumb A. He said dumb F.
Oh,
Dumb fiddlesixer.
Fiddle sixer?
fiddle farts.
Fiddlestickser.
Mm-hmm.
The sheriff's office wrote in an on-screen message, because apparently this was on video, the deputies ultimately determined the driver had a blood alcohol concentration of over twice the legal limit of 0.08%. No one was hurt, but the Lancaster Sheriff's Office did say they hope the wild but true story serves as a reminder to drive sober.
Or get pulled over.
Amen. There's nothing funnier in any story that we do on Nincompoops when somebody calls somebody else bro.
Yeah.
I don't know why it is.
Don't tase me, bro.
Don't tase me, bro. Don't tase me. Ow. Ow. That was the OG.
That was great.
That was so good back in the day. Jackson had never seen that, Ken. I showed it to him.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I'm broadening Jackson Williams' cultural horizons on the Matt Murphy Show as we speak on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Poor little trunkless elephant.
Little fella.
I don't know what you did with that little fella. Much like Ken Weaver, I'd like to have one of these pocket-sized. It's Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I just realized the thing that I just said, none of you know that Ken told me earlier that he would like to have a pocket-sized elephant, and I agreed with him. And so when I said that on the air, it sounded like I wanted a pocket-sized Ken Weaver, which
Well, there's not far to go.
I do not want a personal pocket-sized Ken Weaver. But be that as it may, let me tell you about U.S. What?
Just in your everyday life.
Yeah.
And here's the news.
And yeah, right.
You just pull your little
pull
Ken
him out, little pocket-sized Weaver.
I just do the news, boys.
He's got his big the pocket-sized Ken Weaver. The goatee would be real size. The goatee would just be hanging down.
It goes down to the floor.
Oh, you can wrap him up in the goatee to keep him warm. Put him in your little pocket.
It's his winter coat.
You bring him out. You bring him out. You know what he would say? I'm Ken Weaver.
I just do the news, boys. Hey, fellas, this way. I don't know about this, fellas.
I gotta do this. I'm gonna
Boomer sooner.
put him back in. You can carry him in the stadium with you. You put him right beside your minis, Jackson.